Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. This is Darcy's Misadventures with Mixed Media. I am in the mood to work in my studio. I don't know how long I'll have the energy to do so, but I am in the mood. The weather is gorgeous. It's in the 70s up until 2 o'clock today, so I've got my windows open, I've got my shoes on, I've got my gloves on, and I'm gonna listen to Cass for a little bit, podcast Clutterbug Cass for a little bit while I clean. And then also it's, going to be 11 o'clock on Sunday soon. So then I'll be listening to Patricia and Mariah. And so the rest of this will just be sped up and probably not a lot of talking unless I do a voiceover. I might do a voiceover. But it'll be sped up anyway. And I'll show you the before, during, and after. So, yeah, this area of my room gets to be a mess so quickly, and I just need to get it cleaned up so that I can be able to access that shelf. That big metal shelf is a really useful shelf, and I have a lot of things on there, but I can't get to it easily because of the floor. So that is why I'm picking this as my first spot to work on. Oh, and then you could have whatever. That was one of Cass's quotes. I show it again later. You can always pause to see what it said. So let's see, I started working on the floor, and then I started working on this little tray table that I have next to my desk to use to just put stuff on. I'm sorting out a lot of papers that I'll use for collage upstairs. I'm going to take it upstairs with me. Well, I'll say that at the end, but all right, so yeah. And then just when I find things, try to put them where they belong. Those go in that drawer, and couldn't fit the whole basket, so I just put them in the other basket. So now we have another basket to use elsewhere. And if you see me disappear, it's because I'm putting something away. I think I just put a piece of fabric away or something like that. And then I've got a little thing for like napkins and tissue up in that container, and then those glassine bags I put over with my shipping stuff, like my stuff for packaging and shipping, because I'll probably use them for that. Don't look at my butt. I have a weird butt, I know. But that little bread box is full of craft paints, and it is over full, so I'm gonna have to go through that because that is the container for the craft paints, and the container is full. And I have more than what fits in there. So I'm going to have to either use some up or donate some or something. I don't know. Do something with them. That's a roll I worked on a little bit ago. Oh, I don't know. A couple months ago probably now. I have no concept of time. Like, so much time goes by and I have no concept. Yeah, I had thrown away a rubber band, and I pulled it back out because I was just like, oh, I could put it on here. And then I started rolling up the second one, and then realized, oh wait, I could roll it around the first one and it'll take up less space. Oh, it's little things like that. So I think this took I sped this up 4 times speed. So if you watch it on 2 times speed, then I guess you're seeing it at 8 times speed. That's how math works, right? At some point I was like, oh, am I ever going to see the floor? I didn't know if I would get this done today. I think it took me about an hour, I guess. I think I started at, what time is it? 10:30. Yeah, it took at least an hour. So I worked on it for an hour, and I'm really happy that I was able to work that long. I wasn't sure if I would even be able to work that long. I'm throwing away pieces that I would normally save, like the margins off of books and stuff. Anything that I have an excess of that I can easily acquire some other way. Like, I have more books that I can get more margins out of, so that's not a really big deal. And yes, some of those book pages went in the trash, and my favorite one I saved. I was trying to be a little bit ruthless, probably not as ruthless as I could be, but And don't come at me for throwing away things that could be recycled. I don't have the mental energy to deal with that. And Cass says that's okay. So, you do what you can do. The best that you can do with what you got. And you don't judge other people for making progress. And that's what we want. We want progress, not perfection. Better is good. That's what Dana K. White says. Better is good. So my favorite people to watch when it comes to decluttering, because I try to organize, but I'm not really great at that. But for decluttering, my favorite people to watch are, of course, Clutterbug Cass. I've been watching her since about 2018. And I had probably actually 2016 even, maybe, because I had gotten my house pretty well under control. Better control, I should say. And I had gotten rid of so much stuff, and I had done so well. And then I had read The Artist's Way and started mixed media and learned about junk journals and all the vintage ephemera that could go into them. And the next thing I knew, I was accumulating again. And I was calling it therapy shopping. Because, this all combined into a time where I was traveling more. And I got to say, there's some really fun antique shops and thrift shops in Massachusetts and Maine. And that's where I was traveling. I was able to go see my gram and my aunt right after my grandpa died. And then my brother, because my brother was diagnosed with kidney cancer at the time. And all the way from December 2019 till end of February, the beginning of March 2020, I accumulated a lot of stuff. I thought I was going to sell a lot of it in my Etsy shop, and I did not. Listing things is a pain in the butt. Tell you right now, if you think you want to have an Etsy shop, try it with a few things first. Don't go like doing mass accumulation thinking you'll do it, because the more you have, the more overwhelming it is, and it's likely you'll end up with just a disaster like me. I do have a lot of stencils because I designed did I finish that last story yet? So yeah, I had sorry. So I had accumulated a lot with the hopes and desires of selling it. And I have had, like, the last 3 years, I've done big decluttering sessions and then sold some de-stash boxes, and also donated a lot to the thrift store and also to Disabled Artists Foundation. DAF, yep, Disabled Artists Foundation. I sent a whole bunch of stuff to them. In fact, that was my first major declutter, because I was like, oh, I can send it to them and not feel bad that I'm getting rid of it. And also a lot of things I accumulated were because they were at the Dollar Tree, so they were cheap, or I found things at the thrift store, and you get that FOMO, fear of missing out. I'll never find this again. That was a great find. And part of the hobby, or even if it's totally separate hobby, is the treasure, the hunt, the thrill of the hunt, and finding really cool stuff. And if it's on sale, then that's even better. And why buy 5 for $5 when you can get 100 for $10? I had that mentality. I'm shifting my mentality. I would rather have like 5 really nice ones for $5 than 100 cheap ones for $10. That I'm thinking about charms when I'm thinking of that kind of a thing. Granted, there are some things I've gotten at thrift stores that I have used and continue to use, like that palette paper, and I've got another sketch pad that's the same size that I found at the thrift store that I wouldn't ever want to pay full price for. But anyway. Oh, and I'm wearing my Sherbert shirt, which says Izzy Does It All. So it's at the PM Artist merch shop. Apparently it rides up in the back. I did not know that. Just ignore that part. Don't pay any attention to that part. But I was really happy that at least the what is this, tie-dye one fit, because sometimes those are a little bit smaller than this. Only comes up to a certain size, and I really wanted the tie-dye one, especially for the Sherbert shirt. So this feels like a lot. I am trying to put things away. I've got some papers that go in different sections, and those paints will go on the paint shelf. Oh, I was starting to talk about something else, wasn't I? I don't remember what that was now. I'm just all over the place, But see, Thursday was our first day out of the 90s in a long time. But it was like damp. It was cool, but it was damp. And then yesterday it was nice. And I did make a video yesterday doing some collage. And then today it's also nice. We've got the windows open, the humidity's down from the morning and whatnot. And so it's just really nice. So now I'm just transferring everything from my trash can into a trash bag. Yeah, I threw away the fascinator from the, I was going to use it in my niece's journal, but I just can't be bothered right now. I can only handle so much in my brain right now, and that I would have had to figure out where to put it and how to, it doesn't, the feathers would have matched a little bit, but she might not even known unless I said that it was from the fascinator from her shower, bridal shower. Anyway, so now I'm finally starting to see a little progress, seeing more of the floor. That makes me happy. Sorry, I got distracted. My son was going up the stairs and he was making a noise that, see, you could have excuses or you could have success. I don't remember, something like that. I got it right up here. I don't know where it is. I'm smelling a musty smell right now. It seems to be this area. I've smelled it before and I can never find where it is. It's going to drive me crazy. Anyway, look, more of the floor is showing. Yay! Yeah, so I was in the mood to clean, so I knew I needed to do it. I needed to do it now while I was in the mood. I may regret it later, but, you know, so now I've decided, okay, this is enough bending. Get on the floor. I've got that little black box there is like envelopes and stuff that is ready to be made into other stuff. You know, like guest checks and envelopes and tags and stuff like that, which may end up in some de-stash boxes or I may end up using it. I have a couple different sections. And my hair is just my hair today. I just wet it so it wasn't bedhead. Other than that, that's just what it looks like today. It's not my favorite. It looks a little weird from the top, but that's alright. That's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. So, yep, I'm getting closer and closer to the floor. It's making me happy. So I'm really glad that I took the time to clean up the floor. It makes me feel good about that. And I don't know, I kind of hope Cass sees it, so she's like, okay, so we're not starting from the video she sent. She's making some progress in the meantime. That's part of the reason I don't think that I'll get picked for Cass's makeover for Clutterbug. One, they get a lot of people. And two, you know, I think that my space is, you know, they probably will feel is just too much for showing. But I really need to get it decluttered and get it manageable, because having an autoimmune disease and chronic illness and chronic pain, you need things simplified. You need to get rid of the clutter. You need to have things easy. All the clutter is just going to increase cortisol levels, increase stress, and just make things overall worse for your health. So that is my goal at this point in time, is to get my studio and my whole home like decluttered and de-stressed so that I forgot to put it on Do Not Disturb again. I keep forgetting when I'm recording. So that click was me. I was getting a message. Sorry about that. Next time I'll remember. But I'm not going to re-record this because I won't remember what I was talking about. But anyway, so if you are just getting into junk journaling, I suggest start by using what you got. You don't need all the stuff. You don't even need the vintage stuff. Or if you can just get like a variety pack, you know, of just like 10 to 20 things that you'll use up before you buy more stuff. Having all the things is not necessary. It's actually overwhelming. I actually kind of enjoy when I just have like a pile of things to work from. You have to be a little bit more inventive. You just have to think about it more and just, but you know, but it's possible to do that. So I encourage you. That light doesn't work anymore, so it's going in the trash. I encourage you to work with what you've got. Don't go buying all the things. And chances are you've got something you can use in your space. I hope you enjoyed the voiceover. I didn't know if you'd enjoy that or just silent, but you know, if you want silent, you just turn the volume down all the way. Okay, I still need a vacuum. These are going upstairs with me to use up. And that's that for today. I hope you guys have a delightful day. Love you.